Hello. I've got my smart school clothes on, so I thought I'd better put a hat backwards in case you start thinking that I'm not rock and roll through and through. So that's what I've done. Little backwards hat for you. Right, today I've been at it again. I've been buying more equipment. I just can't help myself. You know I've got a bit of an addictive personality. Well, I recently bought the flat ride that you saw the video to, hopefully. Absolutely fell in love with it. I've been using it every gig since I bought it. Haven't stopped using it. And I thought, well, this is the new thing now. Vintage cymbals. I've got some old ones, but I haven't got many really old ones. So that's what I'm into now. And I was in Nottingham the other day, and on the park and ride on the way into the city centre, I was just looking on my phone, as you do, Facebook Marketplace, the drum forums, the selling drum forums. That's what I do with my life when I'm not playing drums or teaching drums or recording drums. There's like a 70% chance I'm looking at drums or looking at drum music or drum books or reading a music autobiography or something. Absolutely obsessed. So yeah, I was looking at equipment, seeing what was for sale, and in the local area, this guy selling a vintage Zildjian crash cymbal. And this crash cymbal was from the 70s. When I originally bought the flat rider, I thought it was from the 70s, so I thought I'm gonna just see what it sounds like and see if I think it would pair up with it. So as I'm on the bus, I messaged him. I said, I'm around today, because he's just outside of Nottingham, the guy who I bought it off, which is near where I'm from anyway. Oh, was it Bingham? A nice guy from Bingham. Oh, there's a little funny story as well, I'll tell you. So, the guy, I looked him up on Facebook, because I like to do that. I make sure that they're not scammers before I get in contact with them. Make sure that they seem like a nice person or a normal person, if I'm going to go around the house and that. And the other day at rehearsal, I was having a rehearsal with Dave and Karina, Dave Simpson and Karina Powell, Dave Simpson trio, as you know. I'm sure most of you are here from that world anyway. Having a rehearsal with them, and somehow Cliff Richard came up in conversation, don't know how. So jokingly I said to Dave, I've actually got a Cliff Richard record, which I have. Like I was just saying, you won't believe this, because we're in here making this crazy music. You won't believe this, but I've got a Cliff Richard record through there. And Dave said, you're joking. I've got a Cliff Richard video, VHS. And I said to him, I bet it's the same one, because it's one of them weird coincidences. I'm sure none of my friends think I've got a Cliff Richard record, and I'm sure no one that knows him thinks that he's got a Cliff Richard VHS. Well, truth's out now. You see where the musical influence is. The musical influence is, you think I like Vinnie Colaiuta? You think that he likes Jimi Hendrix, John Frusciante? No mate, it's all Cliff. It's all Cliff Richard. I'm never going to be able to find it. That's why I'm even bothering. I feel like I've got to now. Oh, got it. So yeah, if you're wondering where the inspiration behind the album 3 by the Dave Simpson trio, this man right here. So anyway, the story that I'm trying to tell, taking a long way round, is I looked the guy up on Facebook, and this was just after, a couple of days after we'd had the rehearsal and had that amazing funny Cliff Richard moment, and the drummer plays in a Cliff Richard tribute band. So surprising, but just a nice funny coincidence. I messaged Dave, I said, you know how these things happen sometimes? Well, I've just bought some vintage cymbals from a guy who plays drums in a Cliff Richard tribute. What's the chances that we're just talking about Sir Cliff? So anyway, I go to the guy's house, and this is the first cymbal. Well, this was the cymbal that I went for. The only cymbal that I went for was this 16-inch Zildjian 70s crash. Doesn't look like much, does it? Just looks like a normal crash. Just going to try and find the logo. The logo is quite hard to see. I might have to bend it a bit. I don't even think you're going to be able to see it. Put it in the right place. Where is it? Yeah, it's so hard to see. See there faintly? Hopefully. And then it's got the black, the Zildjian bit at the back. Now I wasn't sure of the dates on these because I'm not a big vintage Zildjian guy, but I've put it into the drum forum and just got people to double check the dates of this and the flat ride. And it turns out the flat ride isn't 70s, it's actually 60s from what people are saying, because you can tell by the badges. All the badges have little quirks that I didn't know about. I've started researching it since. And yeah, the flat ride is actually 60s, but that was 70s, so I put it on this cymbal stand and I tried it and I was like, oh, that sounds great. It is such an unusual sound. You'll see what I mean when I play it. But I think that's going to sound great on recordings. If somebody wants that old sound, it sounds like, how can I describe it? It's almost like really trashy, but it's got a gorgeous swell on it. It's really, really nice. I'm really into it. It's unusual. It's definitely an unusual sound. So I'm looking forward to using it as much as I can. It's a brilliant cymbal. But while I was there, he said, oh, I've got this for sale as well. So that cymbal there, the 16-inch vintage Zildjian Crash, was £120, which I know seems like a lot, but cymbals, you know, a new one would be way more than that. And I just love the fact that it's got a story. So while I was there, he said, I've also got a ride cymbal for sale that's a 60s one, if you're interested. And I said, nah. I said, to be honest, mate, I've been spending too much money lately. I don't need any more cymbals. I've just bought the cymbal of my dreams. I've just bought this flat ride that is gorgeous. I've found out it's from the 60s. I was telling him it was 70s. I said, I've bought this flat ride. It's epic. I'm mixing it with my other cymbals and it's sounding incredible. I don't need another ride cymbal. I said, I'll just try it anyway, just on the off chance. Big mistake. I got it on his cymbal stand and I hit it and I was like, these vintage cymbals have so much character compared to the modern ones. The modern ones are cool, don't get me wrong. I've got some glorious cymbals. Maybe it's just a phase. Maybe I'll sell them all in a few weeks. But for now, I am absolutely in love with these vintage cymbals. So he said he wanted £160 for it, and I said, I can't spend that kind of money. And he said, I'll tell you what, if you have both of them, excuse me, if you have both of them, I've been holding that in for ages. Could you tell? He said, if you have both of them, before I die, you can have them both for £240. So they were £120 each. And I thought that was amazing. It's a pretty good deal. He's knocked a lot of money off. He's knocked 40 quid off just from me being there. And I was in love with it. So this is another 22-inch Zildjian ride cymbal. Can't even get it in shot, it's so big. And this one does have a bell this time. And I'll just show you the badge. Where is it there? Come on, camera. Because I'm in the way. It's really hard to see. The light above doesn't help. It's not going to focus, is it? Ridiculous. Let me touch the screen and see if that does it. Oh yeah, you can see it a little bit. So yeah, the guys on the forum that I messaged said it's definitely 60s and it is so heavy. Just like the flat one, it is ridiculously heavy, but it sounds incredible. The wash, it crashes beautifully. I said before, I hate big cymbals. I'm all about small cymbals. But I must be changing, because this is 22 inches. And the crash you get from it is glorious. It's got beautiful definition with a lovely wash, and the bell sounds amazing as well. I haven't paired this up with the flat ride yet, but I already know they're going to sound amazing together. This one does what the flat ride doesn't, and vice versa. So I think soon I'm going to be rocking two 22-inch ride cymbals at gigs. It's going to be glorious. Okay, so this is the flat ride, just here. I've got the new 22-inch ride here. This is mental that they're both 22 inches. Absolute insanity. And then the new 16-inch crash here. Look how big that is. That's mental, isn't it? Okay.